Welcome everybody to solving the big problems of e-commerce video. You made it all the way through the day. Congratulations. It's the last session. We're high energy, right? Woo! Yeah! Go! Glad that you guys made it through. We are really super excited about what we're going to be sharing with you here today. We think it is actually pretty revolutionary, and we hope that you agree. Just so you know, we only have about 30 minutes of content, which means that we'll be able to get out a little bit early. So if you want to go downstairs and start the festivities, we'll be able to do that. So we're not in any danger of running over. Before I start, I would like to invite up Mark from Certona. Certona is the sponsor of this session. And Certona has been a great friend of Liveclickers and the Video Commerce Summit for many years. In fact, Certona has sponsored this event every single year since its inception. The very first year, we had 23 attendees, and Certona still sponsored. So, so we really appreciate the support and friendship of Certona, great partner of Liveclicker, a true leader in the e-commerce space. Mark is just going to share with us a couple words about Certona before we jump in. Mark?
Yep, sure. Yeah, I won't go through a slide. I'll just give you kind of an overview of who we are. We're an e-commerce service provider. We provide a personalization platform for multi-channel retailers. We work with about 450 clients worldwide, including companies like Staples, Home Depot, Abercrombie & Fitch, Nike, Adidas. And really our job is to help them provide a better shopping experience for their consumers, which ultimately leads to driving revenues and profitability. And the way we do it is by helping them better leverage their data. So it's past behavior data, current behavior data, to understand what contextually they're doing on that site at that very moment, and being able to serve up the right content or digital asset. So why are we here today? Well, video is certainly a digital asset that we can use to help personalize the experience. So as retailers, you spend a lot of time and money investing in those assets. So our job is to help you better utilize those, again, to improve the experience, create long-term value for your clients.
Great. Thanks very much, Mark. Thank you. Okay, now I'd like to invite up the founder. Well, after we go through some of these diagrams about Certona, they're quite interesting. It's a very sophisticated personalization and recommendation solution, I might add. I'd like to introduce Xavier Casanova, who is the founder and CEO of Liveclicker. And Xavier is going to share with us a few words about innovation before Ken and I jump into it. Xavier?
Thank you. So you gave me 2 minutes to talk about innovation and why it's important to us. This session is going to be about something very innovative that we're doing at Liveclicker and want to share with you at this summit today. So why is it important to innovate? You guys know video is a new space. You know, it's barely 4, 5, 6 years old, and yet it's changed a lot. You know, in the beginning, it was basically a Windows media player. Then it became Flash player. Then YouTube took over, and all of a sudden, people started realizing that they can distribute a lot of content. And yet another disruption with the rise of mobile devices. Everybody's now watching video content from their mobile device. And I think when I think about what's happened in the video space over the last few years, I think one trend you find is it keeps changing. It keeps, you think you have the right formula today, and then a year from now, if you're still doing the same things, you're basically going to be either out of business or irrelevant. And Liveclicker is a video company, and we live and breathe in that space, and we have to innovate to continue to be relevant to you guys. And we need to innovate also to be different from our competitors. If we allow you to be different and to do things that no one else can do, then you'll be successful, and then you go to Simon and sign a great contract, and everybody will be happy. But innovation is the core of what we do. Innovation is the core of any great technology company. And today, I think you get the message that the magic is going to happen over there. But I'm not going to say much more. I want to introduce you to Kenna Hurd. She played a big role in what we're going to talk about today. She's our account development manager. She's worked with many retail sites, and actually the thing that she brings to the table is very special, is that she used to be in your shoes. She used to be a client of ours, and that's very valuable to us. Justin Foster. So who doesn't know Justin Foster here? All right. Co-founder.
Everyone's too shy.
VP of market development, and pushed everybody at Liveclicker to go faster, have more features, innovate more, and I think a big driving force. So it's natural for these two guys to actually present today one innovation we're very proud of. And go ahead, this is your show now.
Great, thanks Xavier.
So hi everyone, great to meet you again. My name is Kenna, and like Xavier said, prior to coming on board with Liveclicker, I managed the video program at petco.com. And even before that, in a previous life, I actually did a stint in the television industry as a producer, and actually have my bachelor's degree in television and film production. So I know all full well, as I'm sure many of you here today, the speed bumps and the roadblocks that come with video production. Video production is a very time-consuming process. Throw in a limited budget, lack of expertise and resources, and a product catalog of tens of thousands of different products that you want to have video for. Those speed bumps and roadblocks can very quickly turn into flat-out stop signs. Now, currently, as an account development manager for Liveclicker, I get to talk to you all, online retailers, day in and day out. We hear the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to pretty much everything that goes with your video program. And consistently, the three pain points that we hear day in and day out are, I don't have enough time. Not only am I responsible for the video program, I'm responsible for the email marketing program, I'm responsible for the social media program, so on and so forth. I don't have the budget. I don't have $100,000 to spend to get video up and running on my site. And I don't have the expertise. I know we need video, but I don't know the first thing about turning on a camera, let alone using editing software and how to even then get it up on my site after that. So being the innovators that we are, we actually take great joy in solving people's problems, offering solutions for people. So we're hearing these problems day in and day out. We have a great video platform for your e-commerce site, but we kind of started to get the sense that maybe there's something that we can do. We have the resources, we have the brains, and on the development team, maybe there's something that we can provide to help ease this problem. We didn't quite know what that meant yet.
Yeah, exactly. I would just echo everything that Kenna has said. Production, I would say, is the #1 problem in the e-commerce industry, but it's a really difficult problem to really get your mind around, because production can mean a lot of different things. There are product videos, there are how-to videos, there are long-form videos, short-form videos, you have videos with multiple segments, you have single takes, you have in studio, you have off-site shoots that you can do. And one of the things that we wanted to do in sort of attacking this problem of trying to ease the burden of video production was to make an investment in technology where we thought we could make the most impact. And so to do that, this actually came out, oh, I think my clicker's not working. We looked across a lot of different videos from our client base. We actually looked across 22,000 different videos for which we had revenue data available, because we wanted to create a solution that was going to have the greatest revenue impact for our clients. So we analyzed these 22,000 videos across a variety of different dimensions, and what we really learned were that the videos that were actually moving the dial the most, that were actually selling the most products and moving the revenue needle the most for our clients, were short, simple product videos. These are videos that are on average under 90 seconds long. Many of them are single take videos. Many of them are the types of videos where you have just a single host on screen extolling the features and benefits of a product. But at the end of the day, these are very simple videos that appear professionally produced, that are placed on product detail pages of e-commerce websites, which is where the bulk of the action is taking place today in the e-commerce industry when we look at video. And what we found were that these short, simple product videos, on average, I'm trying to remember from my slides here, but I think they generated 24.7% more revenue compared to any other type of video that we looked at. In addition to that, these short, simple, sub-90-second product videos generated a little bit over 14% more higher average order value than any other type of video that we measured. And then finally, because e-commerce is such an immediate kind of business and people are always interested in generating revenue now, we wanted to see what types of videos would cause people to purchase the most quickly. And it turns out, again, short, simple, sub-90-second product videos with a host on screen cause people to purchase, I think on average, 15%, maybe a little over 15% more quickly than any other type of video. So using this information, I mean, this is really powerful knowledge for us in crafting a solution. Now, I don't want you to think, you know, as you leave here today, well, you know, that doesn't really apply to my program, or, you know, I can't really, you know, this is hogwash. This is just some like broad industry sort of swashing across a bunch of different verticals. I would say every program is, of course, different, and there is a lot of truth to that. But on the whole of it, we think that this data is really powerful and can help a lot of folks move the needle were it easier to scale video production in a big way. Mm-hmm. And so we started out with this idea, and Ken is going to tell you about our first approach.
Yeah, so our first attempt was some software that was compatible with a laptop PC. In order to address the issue of time and expertise, we created a templatized approach. So kind of plug and play your different segments. You have an intro segment, you have specific product features, you have a close-up with some more in-depth product features, and then you have closing out the deal, that very last segment. And so our idea was, what if we could get rid of the editing process in its entirety? So we have this software on our laptop. We get to plug in our video camera into the laptop directly, and as you're recording out each one of these segments, this software is saving those segments, and then when you're finished with the shoot, you click a render button, we slice and dice, whip it all together, add in transitions, and 2-3 minutes after you're done shooting your video, you actually have the final version, the final file that you can throw up on your product detail page. Seemed like a win in our eyes. We were efficiently allowing our customers to churn out more videos. We were addressing the expertise issue, and then obviously the budget. If you can do something, if you can produce 30 videos in one day with just a simple piece of software, that's going to be a lot more scalable than going through a full-size production agency. Seemed like a good option at the time. Slowly we discovered that the acquisition and setup of the actual software was not being highly adopted. Started to wonder why, and we realized that there are actually some barriers, a lot of barriers, that came before you even had the chance to get into the software and start using it. For example, not only did you have to have a PC laptop, you also had to have a specific type of laptop. You had to have an additional piece of hardware that you would plug in your camera to, that you would then plug into your laptop computer. And then also we learned very quickly that it was really tough to support technically, as any of you who've tried to troubleshoot computer issues over the phone, you know what I'm talking about. So again, we felt like we were onto something, but it wasn't quite the solution that our customer base needed at the time.
And it's funny, we spent so much time researching this solution. It's kind of funny when I think back on it. Any of you that were at this show last year, we actually demonstrated this software in our innovation session last year. So any innovator will tell you some innovations work and some innovations don't work. This was one of those ideas that just sounded great, but when it came down to putting it together, I mean, it was even more, you had to have like a specific chipset on your motherboard in order to use this software. And you couldn't use like a Canon 5D, but you could use a Nikon D800, and only if it was set to a specific frame rate. But it couldn't just be a D800, it had to be like, the firmware had to be updated to like the right firmware. And so it was just a nightmare. And so revision 2, which we're about to show you, is something that we think eliminates a substantial amount of that complexity. And what we did was we tried to figure out a way that we could take all of the hardware and computer issues out of it so that it was really easy to produce professional looking videos. And for that, we actually turned to these guys right here, iPads and iPhones. And I have to admit, when we first started tooling around with this idea and thinking, well, maybe we can start using these devices as production devices to create professional quality videos, I was super duper skeptical. In fact, I think Xavier was pretty, he was not very skeptical at the beginning, but I was pretty skeptical because, as e-commerce professionals and professional videographers, people kind of laugh when you say that you can get professional quality footage out of something like this. But in fact, the optics on these have been improving pretty substantially, and just with a little bit of aftermarket gear, you can make videos look surprisingly good and, in fact, professional looking that you can put on your website really easily. Mm-hmm. So are we going to demonstrate now, or did we have anything else that we were going to show?
Yeah, let's do it. Do you want to talk a little bit about the extra accessories?
So what we hope that we can do, we're going to do a live demo. This is always a little bit scary. But what we're going to try to do is we're going to record a simple product video. We have a product page that is set up right here. This is just a mock page. Looks like a Brookstone product detail page. And we're going to record a video, and hopefully in under 5 minutes, we'll get the video recorded. We'll add music to it. We'll add transitions to it. And we will publish it directly to the web. So when I refresh this again and I come back next time, we will actually see the video online, the video that we're going to shoot right now. So while Kenna's getting mic'd up over here, let me talk to you. Let me just sort of draw your attention over here to the corner. Might be kind of hard for you back in the far corner there, Ryan. But let me just tell you a little bit about some of the equipment that we have right here. First of all, equipment, as probably most of you know, is important. It's one thing to shoot a video with an iPad. It's a different thing to shoot a video with an iPad with the proper lighting, with proper backdrop. But cost is really important to a lot of e-commerce merchants. Yeah. Not just merchants that are trying to scale up their program, but merchants that are getting started with video for the first time or in the very early stages of their program. So everything that you see here in front of you costs under $1,500, everything. And that includes the iPad. So briefly, let me show you what we've got here. We have this backdrop here. This is made by a company called Lastolite. It's a smooth white backdrop. Costs $400. Why do we want to have a white backdrop like this? Because if you're going to be putting video on your product detail page, you're going to be putting on your website, you want to have a blown out white background so that you don't have this washed out gray look. And for that, you've got to have a white background. Now for the background itself, we have a little strobe light here on the side. This was, I think, $150 we put in here. Kind of lights up the back. Hope I'm not messing you guys up too much by moving that around. And we have a 3-point lighting setup here. These are cheap CFL softboxes. These softboxes, the 3 of them, I think cost $250. We have a microphone. Kenna is wearing an Audio-Technica wired lav. Generally would recommend a wireless lav if you're going to do this kind of shoot. But her microphone, professional quality microphone, great for this kind of video, costs $150. We also have the iPad itself, and I will not move it so I don't screw it up too much. We have the iPad, $400, and we have a special mount on the iPad. It's called a Makiyama movie mount. You can buy it online. You can buy it from like B&H or Amazon or electronic stores, or just you can go buy it at a brick and mortar if you want. Now on this mount, there's a lens on the other side, and after we're done going through this, you can come up and look at the lens. It's a 37mm lens that screws into the case. Why do you want to have a lens screwing into the case? Because you want to get the optics out of this bad boy to be as good as you possibly can get them for this type of a shoot. Have I missed anything?
Did you get the adapter?
We have an adapter. Yes, there's an adapter. Kenna's got her mic plugged into an adapter that plugs directly into the 1/8" jack on the iPad. And of course, on the iPad, we actually have Mobile Studio running. So let's get us switched over to our Mobile Studio. You guys are actually going to see here. Oh, wow. Ooh, yay. you're actually seeing what we're seeing up here on the iPad. So, oh, also, one thing I forgot, we have this little gray card. Super cheap, super important. I thought this thing cost $5, but I was informed earlier it was $25, so apparently there are really great margins in the gray card business. The reason you have a gray card is because you want to set the background to really be kind of that blown out white, get the camera adjusted. So Daniel's going to go ahead and he's going to put up the gray card. I'm going to be quiet. Are you unmiked on your other mic? OK. And we will record our video.
Hi, I'm Kenna, and today I'm going to show you the dual stand leather iPad case. This genuine leather case stores and protects your iPad. It is custom fit, so you have easy access to all of your controls and ports. And it has a dual stand option to make, whether you're typing or watching a movie, you can bring two different viewing angles. And this case comes in a variety of colors, so you can pick the perfect one to fit your personality. Pick yours up today.
I'm glad they put Ken on camera and not me. So that wasn't, that wasn't much of a debate. We knew that from the beginning. Oh, we're going to record one?
Yeah, we're going to do the last one.
We're going to record the last segment again. OK.
And that's the beauty about this, is that if you mess up a take, which we all do, right? You can go back and record that last take without messing up any of the ones you've already seen, right? And finally, this case comes in a variety of colors, so you can pick one that fits your personality. Pick yours up today.
OK. So after we record the video, Daniel here is, we have to upload the video and we have to encode the video. That process is going to take, hopefully, just a couple of minutes. If any of you are like streaming video or anything right now, I ask you to not do it just because we're sharing your connection. So in order to make it go as fast as possible, it does help. We're going to select an audio track. We're going to layer that audio track automatically onto the back of the video that we're uploading. In a minute here, we're going to refresh our product page. And while we're doing that, Kenna is going to walk us through Mobile Studio. She's got another one right up here. And hopefully, using my cool little air server program here, you'll be able to see everything that Kenna can see on her iPad.
Yeah. All right, so this is what the dashboard of Mobile Studio looks like. You have on the left-hand side all of the content that you've previously shot and uploaded to the cloud or uploaded to Liveclicker. In order to start a video, you click on the green button that says New Video. Very easy to use. And then, as I spoke before about Desktop Studio, we offer a variety of templates. So we really brought that model into Mobile Studio to help with the ease of use. So we just shot a product demo. A product demo is going to allow you to use as many segments as you want. It's going to inlay transitions during the rendering process to kind of break up those segments for you. So you can do an intro, you can change your setup, you can do a close-up of the product, do the next segment, do a different angle. It just allows you to get that versatility of a highly, or not highly polished, but an edited together video, as opposed to what I like to call the one-take wonder, which you're going to do a free capture that's just going to be essentially an in and an out of a video, one clip. You also have kind of a cool feature for this is you can do a web screencast, so kind of like a Camtasia video. You can do it using your the iPad's browser right on your iPad. And then finally, 360. Justin, you want to talk about 360?
Sure. So, actually, when we first started thinking about a way that you could make the video production process a little bit more mobile, we weren't really thinking about 360s. I don't know, maybe for a long time at Liveclicker, I think we've almost had an aversion to 360s, at least in the early days, because it's not really video. It's something that's kind of associated with traditional image capture technology. This kind of technology has been around for a long time. And as an innovative company, frankly, it's a little bit boring to us. We wanted to do something a little bit more innovative. But what we found as we began to look around the industries, we found that 360-degree images are frankly super important to e-commerce sites. A lot of e-commerce sites have 360-degree spins on their product pages, or you have some kind of video that you want to shoot where you can kind of drag a scrubber bar back and forth and sort of watch a product move in real time. And we thought, well, why couldn't you do this with video? And it turns out like no one is really doing that, because the way that this has worked for a long time is you have 50 or 60 cameras, you set them up in a big circle, you shoot a product from multiple different angles, very high resolution. It's actually quite a time-consuming process, or can be. And we thought, well, why not make this something that you can do with video? Now we have HD video. You can get pretty good quality. You're not shooting in as high of a resolution as you would doing just still image captures. But what we found for our clients that have been using this is they've cut 50% off of their production costs and 50% off the production time, which is huge in e-commerce when you're thinking about scaling out media. So at any rate, you can also shoot 360 videos with Mobile Studio.
Yeah, once you get your setup locked in, just churn them out. All right, so I'm going to show you guys really quickly the before process that we already took care of before we started recording here. So you have the option to, and this is a setting, so you can choose to show these titles or you can choose not to. You can add in your product name, you can add in a category, you can add in your brand name or your website URL, and then you can even identify who is presenting the product. And then the very first step, along with the lower third that's going to have all of that product information, we're also going to give you an opportunity to show a product thumbnail. So we recommend that this would be just a close-up of the product. You don't necessarily want to have the person that's presenting maybe holding up the product, because it's going to be a little bit redundant. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. But just, I don't know, Justin, do you have something I could take a picture of? Xavier.
Here, why not this?
See that iPhone.
And by the way,
All right.
We're ready over there. Daniel gave me the thumbs up that we're...
So I'm just going to take my product, my close-up of my product, and then I'm ready for the next step, which is to record our first clip, which you guys already saw. So let's go over to the product page. So we've been talking for a while, but Daniel, how long did it take for it to render?
To render, just a couple of minutes, then it was uploaded, then it was published.
Okay, so it's been ready for a few minutes.
Okay. So here we'll see if it actually worked. Oh my gosh, is it going to work? I'm going to hit my refresh button on this page, and we should see a video tab appear above this iPad. And hopefully within that video tab, there will be a video that we can play. So here we go, F5. There we go. Oh gosh, oh, my heart skipped a beat there for a second.
We've been waiting for that for a week.
Ken and I just make this look easy. That's about, what, like 3,000 hours of coding to make that video tab pop up right there? Okay. Oh, you know what?
You can hear it.
It might help if I plug the audio into my computer. What do you guys think? Are we good on our computer audio up here? Nice. All right, start at the beginning. Hopefully we should get this to work here.
This genuine leather case stores and protects your iPad. It is custom fit, so you have easy access to all of your controls and ports, and it has a dual stand option to make, whether you're typing or watching a movie, you can see 2 different viewing angles. And finally, this case comes in a variety of colors, so you can pick one that fits your personality. Pick yours up today.
We're not having like a blue screen of death moment like Bill Gates up here. I was like, last night I could barely sleep. So that's pretty much it. It took us what? I mean, even talking and doing all the explaining and all of that probably took 10 minutes at the most.
Less than 10 minutes, yeah.
So it is possible. You can produce nice looking product videos without spending a lot of money on your gear. And you can get them published to the web, you know, pretty close to real time, you know, just a few minutes. So that's all we had. If you guys would like to ask us any questions about the specifics of the software, we're happy to answer those questions. We can take questions now, and if there aren't any questions, then feel free to come up and play around with our setup. Are there any questions? Yes?
You recut that last scene, so how did you just not record it? Or
No,
did it
so-
know which one to choose?
Yeah, so the cool thing about it, can we switch back to this?
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you, so actually I'm going to show you another little feature. So you can use the front camera and the back camera. So I'm going to switch this to use the front camera. Oh, hello. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm recording my video. Oh shoot, I forgot my line and I screwed up. I'm going to stop record. So then I have the option to go to my next step, as you can see in the upper right-hand corner. Or I can record it again. So when I record again, it's going to write over what I just recorded. So when I record again, here I am again. I remember my line. I got it right on the first take. Woohoo, moving on. Stop recording, and then I'm going to move on to my next step. That really takes a big pain point out of the whole production process, because when you're just shooting linear and then going into the editing suite and you have to like go through all of these clips and you have 12 of them that are bad and which one was the right take, if you have a bad take, you're erasing it, you're deleting over it, you only save your good takes.
Do you have any how-to videos available on setting up the studio environment?
That is a great
Yeah, that is a
idea.
great idea. We have a how-to. We have a how-to video on how to use the app.
We don't,
Yeah.
but now that we have Studio, we can do that very easily.
Yeah.
So we will create how-to videos for you.
And another cool thing, I don't think we mentioned, so it's compatible for your iPad and your iPhone. So
iPhone.
everything
iPad
that
and
we
iPhone.
did today, you can do just as easily on an iPhone, and the quality, there is no difference in the
There's
quality.
currently no Android support, just so you know. It's just iOS at this time.
Ability to do B-roll and text layovers and that sort of stuff too? Or?
You can do text layovers. I think it's somewhat limited in terms of what we can do now. Do you have any additional explanation on that? You can't, you can't capture separate B-roll and then import it today into the video that you're shooting right now.
Yeah.
It's basically all done correct, and it's going to be interesting for us, I think, to see, how widely this is adopted and kind of what people are asking for, because one thing that we're not trying to do is we cannot replace Adobe Premiere or Final Cut. It's not what this software is designed to do. This software is designed for a very specific, simple, templated application. Having said that, I do know that there are some things that we will be adding to it. Like we have logo fade-ins that we're adding. We'll have additional transitions that we'll be adding. It may be at some point we allow you to access previously shot footage and sort of import it into step 2 using it as B-roll. So, but not today. Good question.
Just to add, instead of, for any one of the clips, instead of shooting live footage, you could also upload something that you've already saved on your iPad. So it would be a way to get other camera angles or, however you want to get another file in there.
Oh, well, Simon knows more about this than I do. Thank you, Simon. Yes. Yes.
This is more of a prompt than a question. But, so say we take the iPad out of this scenario and just hold it. What kind of uses do you see?
Well, why don't you? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so a really interesting use case that's come to our attention in the last week or so. So our friends at Brookstone actually, Brookstone stores, they have, obviously my accessory was a Brookstone iPad holder, and so they naturally have iPads in their stores. So they loaded up Mobile Studio on a handful of their iPads and just put it to the test, had their associates film some product videos, came back to us with the feedback of this is actually just as easy to use as we were hoping it to be. So now what we're going to do is we're going to roll this out to all of our stores, make it available to all of our associates, and we're going to run an internal contest. And we're going to incentivize people. If you make a video about a product, you get to take that product home. And with that contest, they're hoping to identify 10 to 15 key players, people who are really apt to making videos well, and then they're going to equip them with the mics and the tripods. And they're essentially growing their video program of one person that they have in-house now to 10 to 15 people out in the field who are the people who are interacting with the products on a daily basis, interacting with the customers on a daily basis. They are now going to be producing video for them.
So just one other comment that I would add, just a general use case, is that you certainly can use this to do outdoor shoots or on-location shoots. The key thing that you're going to want to be aware of is you are still, to some extent, you're limited by the optics on this guy right here. So you do want to be in a well-lit location. And in addition to that, the audio is really important. You can capture audio using Studio, just using the built-in microphone on your iPhone or iPad. If you want to have a professional-looking, professional-quality video on your website, I wouldn't recommend it. It's worth it to invest the $200, $300, $400, even $600 or $700 in a super nice wireless lav mic that you plug into that iPad. It makes a huge difference in terms of the quality on the other end. Yeah. We actually, for us even just to get to this right here, it's funny, you should see our bill from these different electronics merchants. We were ordering all sorts of different things. We actually did try with quite a few different of the, they make some really cool like omnidirectional mics that you can plug into the iPhone or iPad. We didn't find any that, that we could use with this particular application that didn't require routing through another third-party application. There may be some out there, and we're definitely really curious to learn about them if you know of any. Yeah. Great. Well, you guys basically just sat through a commercial for 15 minutes. So, hopefully it was like mildly entertaining to you and you actually learned something from this. We certainly don't think this is going to like the panacea of like solving all video problems for e-commerce, but we think that this can be a big step forward for the industry, and we hope that this does gain broader adoption over the next year. Hopefully next year we'll be talking about all the success stories of retailers that are using Mobile Studio to massively scale their video libraries. So I won't take any more of your time. There are drinks downstairs. There's foods downstairs. You guys made it. Thank you very much. Oh, yes?
It's already available in the App Store.
Oh, it's already available in the App Store. And it's free.
What would we do without you? Free in the App Store, yeah. If you want to come over, I'll be over here for a few minutes if you want.
We'll be over here.
If you want to star in your own video, by all means.